Was the assistant county manager and parks director and enjoyed some of the machinations as we worked through the task force at Devil's Slide. I'm retired now, so this is a lot easier. But what an incredible day we have. It's hard to beat on the coast, and it's hard to beat this view and all the hard work that went into it to make it so good. I would like to recognize a number of people before we get started, and then we've got a few speakers, and then we'll, when we cut the ribbon, we're going to cut the ribbon with the view through the cut of the road right there. So, I'd like to recognize Katrina Rill with Jackie Spears' office, State Senator Jerry Hill, State Assembly Member Kevin Mullen, and I think representing Rich Gordon's office, Jeremy Dennis is here somewhere. There he is. Also the County Board of Supervisors, Don Horsley. I think Carol Groom's here. And Warren Slocum. He's got a great hat on, too. And then Coastal Commission Executive Director, Dr. Charles Lester. And the Coastal Conservancy's Executive Officer, Sam Schuckett. And I'd also like those in the audience to raise their hand, because I believe the Coastal Conservancy's whole board is here with a number of staff members. And then Bob Finney, the Acting Chief Deputy Director for Caltrans District. Brian Cash, the Deputy Assistant Secretary for the California Natural Resources Agency. We'll be hearing from them. Pacifica City Council, Len Stone and Lori Tempo. And on the other side, the Half Moon Bay City Council, Alan Alifano. Is Alan here? John Mueller, Farmer John, and Marina Frazier. And Mike O'Neill from the city of Pacifica, sorry. I knew I'd miss somebody. And then if the County Parks Commission, raise your hand. They're all here. And as a consequence of their good work, we should recognize the Tunnelistas, or we wouldn't be here. And with that, I'll say welcome. This has been a long-awaited opening of, I'll say, the Devil's Slide section of the California Coastal Trail, which is pretty amazing. And especially for this audience, all of you in some way over the last 12 to 14 years have contributed to the success of having this iconic section be open. And the county is very proud to stand among so many partners to make this happen and create what is really, for I think our visitors, going to be a world-class opportunity. Last year, many of us gathered in front of the Tom Lantos tunnels. Interesting thing about being in front of a tunnel that is sucking wind and it's overcast and cold. We stood there through a lot of discussions and a lot of celebrations and said farewell to rock slides and road closures, and that was a great thing. But today we're here, I think, to celebrate what is arguably one of the most scenic trails on the California coast. The tunnels provide the coast residents, businesses, and visitors with a really safe, reliable route to the north and central San Mateo coast and to San Francisco. The tunnels were a necessity. They were an answer to a real problem. But the consequence of that necessity is pretty amazing, and that is that the original road be dedicated as a trail, and here we are today to celebrate that segment being open. And I was thinking about this because often people say, wow, it's pretty amazing to be on here without the cars. And it is. It's because as we all went, and I live on the coast, as you go back and forth across this in a car, even when you're behind a cement truck going 2 miles an hour, the only thing you can do is this and turn back before you get hit or hit somebody. But now you'll be able to experience really what is really incredible and really focus on the beautiful details. And we just about can see the Farallones today, but it's an incredible 1.3 mile long trail offering amazing views across a beautiful area. And really to enhance all that through many of our partnerships, and the partners will talk about that. We've got a number of these beautiful interpretive signs to explain everything you're seeing. And now for the first time you can enjoy the geological, the rocks and all the amazing things you could look at that you had to duck before, or sweeper had to pick up on the trail, or shut down the trail. And so lastly, I'd like to recognize a group that has worked behind the scenes through this whole thing, and we're all celebrating the fact that we love each other, but we don't need to have another meeting. And that is the Devil's Slide Task Force. Raise your hands if you're here. We don't know how many meetings we had, but they're definitely between 50 and 100 over the last few years. And they've done a great job. So for the local residents, this will now be a kind of a hiking path in their backyards, and for our visitors, it's going to be an incredible portal either way to the California Mid-Coast. And what a great opportunity. Thank you all for being here today. And now we have a number of speakers, and I will introduce them as they come up.
And we want to give this to you on behalf of the men and women at Caltrans and the contractors that worked with them through the years to keep Devil's Slide open and to build the new tunnel. We're passing this shovel on to you. Good luck. It is a symbol of the county's stewardship and your leadership in bringing this really, truly beautiful trail to the public. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
That was a great transfer. Thank you. I might recognize the support behind the supervisors here too. The county manager that has to put the money together, John Malpe, is here.
What a wonderful day this is, and a great celebration. It's funny, everyone has mentioned that driving along Devil's Slide, and it's so true, because I was always afraid if I was coming this way and a car was coming that way, I would always kind of make sure I was separating when they hit this point, because I knew they were going to cross the line. They always did, because no one cannot look at that majestic view every time they come by. It is just extraordinary. The one thing this does highlight for me is how important it is and how we have to stay committed to the access, the public access of our coast. If we don't, we will lose that access for the public. And the 80,000 projected walkers, hikers, bicyclists, whatever it will be annually that will come here, and I think that's an underestimate. We need to make sure that they can do that everywhere in California, whether I'm working to make sure we have access at Martins Beach or whatever. We have to keep that fight going. So thank you for that commitment that we all have made to that. And also the thanks go to certainly Caltrans. You know, it's funny, I've never seen Caltrans so willing to give up a piece of land in my life. It's just too bad they couldn't do that with the Bay Bridge, give it to somebody else. But it is extraordinary. But Caltrans certainly is a great partner in everything that we do. The Coastal Conservancy is there providing those resources that are so needed and so helpful and so important. And the Natural Resources Agency, John Laird, and through the governor down, has been just extraordinary in their participation, their eagerness to help communities do what they want to do. kind of like bringing things to the community and to home, and that's what they've been doing so well. And certainly to the Coastal Commission, who is a real partner to all of us in making sure that this coast is preserved for a long time. So I have a resolution, and Kevin and I are going to present it, and just wanted to make sure, unfortunately, Assemblymember Gordon wasn't able to be here today. Jeremy Dennis is there, but he's here in spirit because, as we all know, with his time on the Board of Supervisors and in the Assembly, to make sure that this access, this trail, that tunnel, that it all came about. So we're appreciative to his work as well of that too. Kevin?
Thank you so much, Senator. I am so very honored to represent this part of the coast and this spectacular view when I'm in the California State Assembly in Sacramento. It's a pleasure to join you today for the opening of the trail. With the completion and opening last year of the Tom Lantos tunnels, coastside residents and businesses have some peace of mind that one large storm can't wash away the road and severely impact their livelihood. As you well know, the tunnels took a long time. That's a bit of an understatement, I think. Some might agree in the room, out on the trail today. Thankfully, the trail did not take as long. But one thing both projects shared is visionaries. Thank you to everyone who had a hand in shaping this dream. This trail stands as a testament to your work. If the late Congressman Lantos were here today, he would surely be proud of what has been accomplished. This trail proves once again that San Mateo County, when faced with a difficult challenge, we work together, find common ground, and not only solve problems, but gain from it. This community took what seemed to be a yearly natural disaster and turned it into a true treasure that this county and the state as a whole can be proud of. And what used to cause headache and heartache is now a place for rejuvenation and inspiration. I look forward to coming back to the trail often and hiking with my wife Jessica and our Beagle Sunshine, on leash, of course, and take in all of what the new Coastal Trail has to offer. Kudos to all. Thank you so much.
Kevin will present this resolution to Supervisor Horsley, and on behalf of myself and Assemblymember Gordon and Assemblymember Mullen, congratulations on a wonderful, wonderful job and all the hard work that you've done to make this happen, Don. Thank you very much.
I'll put it right next to my gold shovel.
Your gold shovel. Put it next to the shovel. Thank you.
I think this would be a great time for Supervisor Horsley to give his talk.
Okay, all you coastsiders, who's got it better than us? That's right. First of all, one of the other things I want to tell you is that, when we looked, the county put $2 million into this project. And to be candid, it came out a lot better than I initially thought. We did our Public Works they did a great job. So I want to thank all those people from Public Works. Thank the Tunnelista for what you did in the past. And, I don't know if you know, when I was sitting here, I'm kind of looking up. And the reason I'm looking up is because I'm watching all those birds fly around. And, I think we're going to have school kids coming out here, college kids, looking at the geology of this mountain. Oh, by the way, if any of you want to volunteer to climb up and get rid of that pampas grass, we're taking volunteers. We'll let you rappel down. We want to get rid of that pampas grass and restore all the native plants. The best view here, actually, because I've spent a little bit of time here. I used to be the sheriff and stuff. It wasn't called Devil's Slide for nothing. But the best view actually is down there. And you look at that rock out there. The rock was for the recovery of what's called a common moraine. And what they did is they put out these decoys and stuff. And so we had somebody from the Audubon Society. We were looking down there, and he said, well, there's mostly decoys. The common moraine is making a comeback. Most of those are decoys. So I said to him, hey, they're all moving. They're back. They're back. So we've made it's a remarkable recovery of that species. And so there's also a peregrine falcon. Unfortunately, he or she normally sits up right on top of that mountain. And unfortunately, probably because there's so many people, he must, or she, or whatever it is, must have, is maybe scared off or looking for a mouse or something like that. But this is really a remarkable, exciting day for all of us. When we're talking about the Tunnelistas and talking about Devil's Slide Task Force, we did work with the Coastal Commission, the Coastal Conservancy, Caltrans, I actually started with it when I was a sheriff with Rich Gordon, and then when Rich left and eventually I took over, we kept with that same group of people planning for this day. And I can't tell you how excited all of us are, and how gratified we are to see this come to fruition finally. We think this is going to be, I think, of course, this is my district. I love this district. I love the entire California coast, but I especially love this area, and I think this is just a treasure that we're all going to really be able to enjoy for not only today but for the future, for all of our children, grandchildren, and beyond. I want to thank also Caltrans for eventually turning this over. They did a fabulous job, and I think this roadway is going to last for decades and decades and decades. They did a marvelous job when it first slipped. And that's the other part of the thing you can see is the engineering that they did to really stabilize the roadway. So I think that's probably, unless Marlene has to talk, or oh, well, in any case, I'm so gratified. I'm really excited about this day. So.
It's a hard act to follow.
Taking care of things as San Mateo County Parks accepts this responsibility of stewardship. We're ready. Our park staff's ready for this day. Our volunteers are ready, and I want to thank our commissioners, our park commissioners, for all that you've done to make this day happen and all that we will do into the future. So on behalf of park staff, on behalf of our volunteers, welcome to your newest San Mateo County Park. Thank you.
And now for the main event.
I'm gonna cut it. Oh my God, how exciting is that? How exciting is that? Okay. Okay, good. One, two, three. Yay! All right.
That's right, on the other side. Get in the car, let's go. That's right, on the other side. Make it last, we'll drive real slow. Next year we'll be kissing in the tunnel now. Whoa, we're getting so high. But right now, it's the last time we'll be dropping it over the line. Summer's gone, but this paradise will live on forevermore. We're going over the slide now, girl. Falling, don't you know? That's right, on the other side. Get in the car, let's go. That's right, on the other side. Make it last, we'll drive real slow. That's right, on the other side. Get in the car, let's go. That's right, on the other side. Make it last, we'll drive real slow. I give you good head-on collision. Love so sweet, baby, I'll blow your vision. Keep your hands up there on the wheel. Ooh, way I make you feel. That's right, on the other side. Get in the car, let's go. That's right, on the other side. Make it last, we'll drive
together, chorus.
Let's ride on Devil's Slide. Get in the car, let's go. Let's ride on Devil's Slide. Make it last, we'll drive real slow. Let's ride on Devil's Slide. Get in the car, let's go. Let's ride on Devil's Slide. Make it last, we'll drive real slow. Let's ride on Devil's Slide. Get in the car, let's go. Let's ride on Devil's Slide. Make it last, we'll drive real slow. Let's ride on Devil's Slide. Get in the car, let's go. Let's ride on Devil's Slide. Make it last, we'll drive real slow.
It's all right. Too late now. There you have it.